Hi guys, so we're back with another video and today we're gonna talk about 7 types of houses in Canada and we're gonna tell you which is the best choice in terms of future investment along with pros and cons. And in the end of this video, we're gonna also share our personal choice with you guys.
So starting with single family detached houses, these are freestanding residential homes in which you do not share a wall with another house. So talking about the pros, these houses have a front yard and a backyard as well in which you can chill around with your family members and friends as well. Unlike other residential homes, these houses can be renovated and expanded as well as they don't have any interference from the community associations. These houses also have their own privacy in which you don't have a peeping neighbor into your head and you can have your alone time with the family and friends.
So apart from all these advantages, they also come with a really good basement which you can build it on your own way, and a majority of people do rent the basement and earn a side income. So isn't it great? So moving ahead with cons, they do come with a really few amenities, so you don't have the privilege to enjoy the pool, the fitness, unlike the condos and townhouses that come with a lot of amenities to enjoy. So as because you enjoy the privacy, you are also in charge of the maintenance, so the management is not responsible for the maintenance in single family detached houses.
So talking about the future investment, the appreciation rate of single family detached houses over the past 10 years is 84.9%, which is absolutely great.
So there are two types of detached houses and the second type is semi-detached house. So the difference between single family detached houses and semi-detached houses is that they share a common wall with another house. So usually the semi-detached houses are mirror images of each other. And one of the really good advantages of these type of houses is that you can get a relatively larger space in small price just because you're sharing some of the portion of your house with another house. And the second most important advantage is that you can also share the maintenance costs with each other. For example, the snow removal, which can be really difficult at times.
So talking about the cons, these houses have limited access to the backyard. These houses also cannot be rebuilt or reconstructed as you share a common wall with the neighbor. If you talk about another disadvantage, some houses share the same driveway with the neighbors and there are chances of conflict with them. But if you talk about future investments, these houses have an amazing appreciation rate. And if you compare them with the single family detached houses, these houses have an appreciation rate of 87.3%, which is phenomenal.
So, talking about townhouses, which is really high in demand in Canada, also known as garden houses. So, these houses are really small spaced houses which have a separate entrance of their own, and these houses share a maintenance cost with their neighbors, which is really good. So, these houses are not responsible for anything which is happening outside the house. So, the management is responsible for anything which is happening in the exterior of the house, which is a great thing about these houses. And some of these houses also have a lot of amenities to share in a common ground, so you have the privilege to enjoy the pool, the fitness, anything about these houses.
So if you talk about the cons, these houses are really compact. Moreover, you do not have an access to a garage or a basement as well. If you talk about privacy, the neighbors stay really close to each other, so it becomes a fuss on certain days. The HOA fees for these houses is also extremely high, which means you have to pay high maintenance fees for every month. On the contradictory side, if you talk about future investments, these houses are a good source for making rental income for an entire month, and you can easily pay your bank mortgage loans.
So, talking about split level houses, these houses are not as popular as other houses in Canada. Here, the stairs are staggered, typically set apart with a bunch of stairs going up and down. But the good thing about these houses, as these houses are really affordable, you can get a large house in a small space because of multiple stairs within the house. But the downside about these houses is that remodeling of these houses can be really challenging at times because of multiple stairs within the house and the design of these houses. And if we talk about the investment purposes in future, these houses are considered unfashionable and these are really low in demand. And because of this, sometimes you can get a house in a really discounted price.
So the next type is bungalows. It is kind of a detached house that has a single story and is really small in terms of square feet if you compare them with the single family detached homes.
So these houses are more private if you compare these houses with split level or a townhouse, but just because it's a single story house, these houses sometimes can have security issues. But if we talk about the future investment, the demand is really high, but the number of houses in Canada are really low. So eventually it makes these houses more valuable in future.
So the next type is duplex. As the name suggests, it is a building with one unit over another. And if we talk about pros of duplex, these have two separate entrances for each unit. You can even rent your second unit to another person, which will cover your bank mortgage costs.
But if you're in the second part of your house, the privacy can be invaded and can be an issue in future. But if you want a small investment and if you want to invest for the first time, this can be a good investment because the number of duplex in Canada are increasing if you compare these for fourplex.
So the final and the most popular one are condos. It can be a housing or residential complex with separate units. The thing which I personally love about condos is that you can have all set of amenities in your condo like swimming pool, gym, spa. And if you are a people's person, it is the right place for you as you can have social entertainments with all the community members living in that space.
But one thing that I dislike about condos is like I feel like it's like living in a hostel. You get a really small space, you get to hear noise from your neighborhood, and you do have restrictions like partying, smoking cigarettes, etc. But it can be a really safe investment because the price is increasing in future, but the price is increasing in a really slow pace.
So if you talk about our personal opinion, we recommend semi-detached homes.
So semi-detached houses can be a really good choice if you compare all the pros and cons because you get your own privacy and you get a really large space in a small price and you also get a really good return on investment in future. That's my personal choice, but it also depends on person to person, the amount you want to spend. But whenever you make a decision, just make sure you compare all the pros and cons and you also compare the return on investment in future to make a wise decision.
Thank you so much guys for watching our video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment on our video. And if you guys have missed our previous video on the top 7 cheapest places in downtown Toronto, we have given that link in our description below.